What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and I have another game review to share with you guys today. And this time I'll be giving you my thoughts on the newest installment of the Need for Speed franchise, simply titled Need for Speed Rivals. Now, usually in my game reviews I spend a little bit of time talking about the overall narrative of the game, but this time it's not really necessary because this time the game really doesn't have an overall narrative. The whole game surrounds itself against a single principle, which is mostly the same depending on whether you choose to play as a racer or as a cop. Now, if you're playing as a racer, your pretty much whole objective is to simply complete tasks, which will then gain you speed points that will then further you throughout the kind of semi-storyline that the game projects, which is just small little chapters. If each chapter that you escalate to, you'll just gain access to more customizable parts, more performance parts, more powerful cars, and it just pretty much makes the game a little bit harder as you progress along throughout the game. Now, your speed points is pretty much your revenue for the game. And it's your money. It's what you'll use to buy, unique customizable parts, upgrade your car any way you want, or buy even newer, more powerful cars. Now, in order to gain speed points, you pretty much need to drive around this very beautifully designed open world environment and just do stuff, which could range from winning races to going head-to-head with one-on-one races to point A to point B to getting in pursuits and escaping, wrecking cars, jumping over ramps. Anything you do on the road will gain you speed points. Now, as you build much higher levels of speed points, your heat will start to increase. And for those of you who are familiar with games like Need for Speed, Most Wanted, and Hot Pursuit, you would know that heat pretty much represents the amount of aggression that the authorities will try to take you down and bust you. Now, the reason why this is very important involving your speed points is that if you are busted, then you will lose all your speed points and be returned back to your garage and forced to start over from scratch. And I cannot tell you, there is nothing more annoying than spending an hour building up a very high speed point meter only to be caught by the police and lose all of that work. It's kind of the whole thrill of the chase kind of feeling. Now, if you're playing as the cops, you're pretty much doing the same thing. As you achieve goals and objectives, you'll then be kind of progress through these semi-chapters that the game has. But on the cop side, the main thing that you'll achieve really is just more powerful cars that are designed to do different things for different types of pursuits. Now, the thing that I felt was very unique with this particular level of gameplay was how smooth it worked with the overall multiplayer, which, for those of you who don't know, I'm not really a big fan of multiplayer. But this time it actually worked quite well because it didn't feel like multiplayer. If you're playing on multiplayer or playing offline, you really aren't going to feel a major difference in the gameplay. Just certain racers may just play a little bit more aggressor than others, and that's not really a bad thing. Now, the thing that you have to really bring into effect if you're playing as a racer is simply that a race or pursuit can start at any time, and there is no pause button, so it really forces you to kind of constantly be on the alert or be ready for anything, because you never know when a cop will show up and bust you, or a racer will challenge you to a race. It can happen at any time. And the same goes for if you're playing as a cop. You just never know what's going to happen, so it kind of forces you to constantly stay on your toes. Now, there were actually a couple of accessories that this game had that I had never experienced in a previous Need for Speed game, and I'm really happy that they were incorporated into it. Number one, you can, if you're playing this on your PlayStation 3, as I was, you can actually put in your own music from your own library, so you can actually not be forced to listen to the game soundtrack. You can actually listen to your own music, which is something I've wanted to do in a Need for Speed game for many, many installments. And I think the smoothness of jumping between multiplayer and offline was just beautifully well done. I don't know how they were able to pull it off so well, but it is great. Now, it's not to say that this game is perfect. I did happen to run into a couple of connection errors, which at times, if you're playing online, is cut, it may take a couple minutes for the servers to migrate to a different host, which could be annoying at times because, I have a very strong internet connection and I still found myself losing connection with the server. And another problem that I had was that the overall size of this open world. The fact that all of your cars can go so fast, it really doesn't feel like a very big world. You really can get from any point to any other point in a matter of minutes, and it's only separated into 4 regions, which is basically the city region, the deserts area, the forest, and the mountains. And you can get from any point to any point at any time. So I wish that if the map was a little bit bigger and they had fixed some of these connection problems, this would be a perfect game. But despite these small problems, this is still a very fun game and a must-play for anyone who is a Need for Speed fan, which is why why I'm happy to give Need for Speed Rivals an 8.5 out of 10. If you like this game review, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check me and my future movie, video game reviews, and topic videos. You can also press one of the links in the description down below to follow me on Twitter or friend me on Facebook, and I will be sure to friend you and follow you back. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.